Hey guys, so we are back with another one. Listen, if you enjoy the videos and the commentary, please make sure you leave me a comment below, all right? Also, like the video and subscribe because we'll be back tomorrow with another one, and I would love for you to join me. Let's get started.
Now, this cartoon just said a mouthful without saying anything. Watch this. Look at the agenda. Look at how they just feminized a masculine man. It's always been in place.
So you guys know that some of these cartoons, they definitely have some hidden messages, right? Subliminals, all type of stuff. And you gotta be careful out here. You gotta be careful because you never know what kind of message is being sent in what you're actually watching. And some of us go to the TV to watch a quote program that's really programming us.
Enlil, who's known as Yahweh, comes back and sees humans building a tower into the heavens in one of these cities, duplicating what the Anunnaki had built. He gets pissed off because he realizes, oh man, Enki got me. These people are too smart, so he destroys the tower. And he says, my seed shall not abide in man forever. His years shall be 120. And what's the maximum lifespan of a human being in the most pristine condition according to Harvard? 120 years. Then the next thing he did was he separated humans and put them in different places around the planet, just like the tablets say. And then he confused the languages so that we couldn't communicate and collaborate anymore, which is why there's all these different crazy languages. And then on top of that, he put a brand. Whoever ruled over an area, brand your people. We know that those are your people. Brand your people. We know those are your people. And look how it's worked. Look how these invisible lines we have on this planet till this very day are still here. If I go to Mexico, I'm an alien. If they come to America, they're an alien.
Yeah, we're still blowing each other.
So what Billy talks about right here in this clip is very, very interesting. And he tells a story about how, this Anunnaki being pretty much separated, everyone and gave them all different languages, right? Because apparently before this incident, we all spoke the same language. Well, I've never read the tablets myself, even though I wish I could. I wish I had I wish I knew the language back then, to be able to read the tablets myself, to get a clear picture of what was being said, what is written, right? And I'm pretty sure we all do. We all want to know, what the exact translation is of some of these, ancient artifacts on Earth. Not just the tablets, but it'd be nice to read the hieroglyphics on the pyramid and a few other things. And I'm pretty sure you agree with me. Very interesting what Billy has brought to surface here, because it is a direct correlation and also a contrast to the Bible. So it's a little bit of a mind melting type thing going on here, because if these things are truly written in the tablets, what else are in those tablets? What else has been taken from those tablets that we can't read and has been reconstructed and written as something else for us to believe? That's something to think about. That's something to think about. As a matter of fact, it comes into question, what have we been reading and believing this whole time that's a direct contradiction to what's actually true?
An insane belief in my own ability to manifest things. Insane belief. I think it's ultimately complete sanity. I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life. We all start out with a false belief about ourselves, with some untrue thing that we believe walking through our lives. I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm gonna fail. Whatever your basic mistaken belief about yourself is, you form a personality around. You know, it's the grain of sand in the oyster. So I form characters that way a lot of times. I'll ask myself, what's the speck of sand?
Jim Carrey. Y'all, Jim Carrey is one of my favorite all-time actors. When I was younger, I used to love me a Jim Carrey movie. Like, real talk. But I think what he's saying in this clip is, it kind of makes you think about, you know, when he says that the beliefs that you have, you create a personality around it. You know, we all been taught about, our personalities and how we get our personality and where it comes from and things of that nature. But the way he explains it here is very simple and very formidable to not only explain, but to understand. In a little bit of a way, it makes sense. Without getting too deep into it, it's very simple. And I think we can take a lot away from that, just from that sentence alone. If you see also in the clip, in the background, as he's talking, in the background, they show a part of the movie The Mask, where he has the mask in his hand, and all of a sudden it catches to his face and it formulates on his face. And it's very indicative to what he's saying in the clip. Aside from all of the personal things, that Jim Carrey has gone through and all the negative press he has gotten, and I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to judge him. But I do have to say that I'm a huge fan of his movies, and seeing him explain this shows a little bit lighter side of him. And it helps us understand, but how he formulates his characters, right? Because we all know that some of his movies are like pretty crazy, they're pretty out there, but they're good movies, right? They're good movies. All right, so stay tuned.
And what's interesting about that is, this is a shadow, but not a shadow of darkness. It's a shadow of light. It's a light matrix. We're talking about the spiritual technology utilized to create this entire realm. This entire realm was created with some type of spiritual technology, and this technology is so incredible. It's imbued with divine matter, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, but it's also imbued with darkness. But what's interesting about the darkness in this yin and yang, it always seems to be a battle against each other. But in the end, for the most part, the light always seems to win. Even if it takes a long period of time, the cycle happens where the darkness leaves and the light comes in. We're sitting in a room right now that's pretty well lit, right? If I was to turn on something dark, I couldn't make the light dim any. In other words, there's no darkness I can inject into this room with these physical lights that would make this room dark right now. Mm-hmm. But if I turn all these lights off and just do something as simple as turn on the light on my cell phone, the darkness will flee from that light instantaneously. So the smallest amount of light will make darkness flee. And so I take that to the universal scale, because I believe it's all fractal. I believe that it's all as above, so below. And it's all about how many conscious beings does it take before the darkness flees. There's a number that we have to hit. When we hit that specific percentage of number of awakened souls on this planet, that's when it will flee. The Christ will return. We're talking about this. When every single person gets this right, it's back. And we're back in the golden age.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back with Billy again. And I mean, y'all, sometimes Billy be out here speaking pure facts, okay? Sometimes you need it to be broken down in a way where it's very simplistic. It doesn't have, a bunch of scientific, words that you're going to have to go look up to even figure out what he's trying to say. But look, I love where he talks about the spiritual technology that was used to create the whole realm, just all of it, everything. Us, the other beings, the angels, the demons. I mean, whatever you want to call it, however you formulate it in your mind, all of it, right? All of it. He breaks it down to a complete science and brings it back to us, like us as a species, us as human beings, and us coming together, to bring positivity and light to the world. I agree with him, that it's a bunch of negativity that's going around, right? I mean, it's plenty to go around. But it's also a lot of, light and positivity to be had as well. And we need both. We need both the light and the dark in order to survive. That's why we have both things that exist simultaneously. And it's not just out in the world where we can see it with the naked eye, but it's also, within us as well. And it's within other things as well. When I got pregnant, quick story, I went to the doctor a little early because I went to the doctor to actually check on something else. And I ended up finding out I was pregnant. And the doctor did an ultrasound, just to check and be sure, that that's what it was after we did the test. And something very magnificent happened. She turned the monitor around and showed me. She was like, yeah, look. She was like, you are pregnant. And the only thing I saw was a little beam of light sitting in complete darkness. I kid you not. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It was amazing. And, that can be correlated to what Billy just said, that no amount of darkness can fill the room where one light is shined and the darkness just flees, to the point where you're always going to see the light. Like he said, the light is always going to win, no matter how long it takes. That was quite interesting. Okay, we're building here. Stay tuned.
I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say, but you'll see why some people are on top and what's going on, and why the biggest secret has been hidden from some people, and why some people are so smart, right? Because they got that mitochondrial DNA, which is the CPU, which is the spiritual wisdom. You understand? Some things going on back there, family. Everybody else is utilizing it except for the people who it belongs to. Because they know more about you than you know about you. Because you're not tapping in. Gotta tap into your ancestors and ask them what's going on. And that's why it's important to embrace both sides of you. So you can hear it from both sides of the fence, family. You understand why you have to be in the dark to see the light? You have to be in the dark, family, to see the light. See, people don't understand that. You have to be. You understand? So you have to have a little bit of that demonic and a little bit of that angelic. You have to see the darkness, family, in order to see the light. You have to. You're not gonna make it if you don't. If you see things one way, you're not gonna make it. That's why I said, family, you gotta be open-minded. You gotta be open-minded. You gotta be non-judgmental. Okay? You gotta go into these things with a pure heart, but be very understanding and open-minded to things, right? That's how you get the information you need. Okay? You'll be able to see these things. You'll be able to make this connection that you need to make, right? I embrace both sides of me. I don't said that, family. I embrace both sides of me. So I do communication with both sides of my ancestors. You think we got just one side ancestors? You think they all demons or they all angels? Hey, get out of that, family. We got some ancestors that have done some horrific things. We got some demonic ancestors and some angelic ancestors. So you all better get out of that, right? Some things going on out here, and they're hiding it from people, right?
So this goes back to what Billy was saying. You know, it is very important to embrace both sides of you. We both know that we have light and dark. You know, some of us may utilize our dark side more than the light. And I'm sure that some of us fight to keep the light side more prominent and just try to work on, you know, the things that are in the back, the dark things that are in the background, right? Some people call this shadow work. Um, some people call it the hidden self. You have lots of different names for it, but it's okay. It's okay because all of us have both sides, and you're not ever going to be able to get rid of you. You're always going to be you. So you might as well just come to terms and work on yourself and be mindful that you have to bring the two together. You can't hide one side and only show the other, because eventually the other side is going to come out. You mess around and get mad and get angry and somebody done pissed you off or something like that, it's going down. That's how it happens. So it's very important to stay open-minded about yourself and not beating up yourself, talking down to yourself. It's very important to be open-minded with other people, not to be, out here provoking other people and making them mad, because, if people have to protect their territory or protect their kids or something like that, then next thing you're thinking, oh, these people are bad, they this, they that. No, because if you had to do the same thing, you would probably be acting a fool too. Right? Oh, okay. All right. All right, so we're building. Stay tuned.
Switch timelines. What brand do you think of when you see these pizza rolls? Now, if you're from my timeline, you would have said Tostinos. It's Totinos. Where did the S go? And you guys know Jordan sneakers, right? The logo always had shorts, but supposedly it's always been pants? How does that even make sense? Who plays ball in pants? And wasn't the Mississippi River the longest river in the U.S.? Well, supposedly it's the Missouri River. And we all know the song, We Are the Champions. We all remember the ending of the song. He goes, we are the champions of the world. But that's not the ending lyrics. It just ends with, we are the champions. And I know I am not tripping. Y'all cannot tell me that the Energizer Bunny has had its battery on its leg the whole time. I kid you not. It's always been on its back.
You know, the whole agenda with the Mandela effect is questioning history so they can change history. Because if there's two people arguing, then they both could be true. Think about the Mandela effect as a step. So today you question what this is. But there's two options. But let's say in 5 years, whatever those two options, it can amplify to another two options because now it's so long you forgot the first Mandela effect. And eventually they could just change history to whatever in the third or fourth layer of a Mandela effect. And so ultimately, if their agenda is to change history, as long as people are arguing, they can amplify these changes.
I mean, they are called the government, which means mind control. We didn't pick that name for them. They picked it for them. So they're really about it. They're really doing their job. They're doing exactly what their name.
But look, you know, when he talked about the Tostitos, look, I'm already calling it Tostitos because back in my day, that's what it was. But you know, y'all not tripping, okay? Because some of this stuff was different, and then they mess around and change it, and you're sitting there thinking, am I going crazy? No, you're not going crazy. This goes back to the same conversation we were having yesterday about the boats and Christopher Columbus. And sitting up here being told one thing when in actuality, the story was changed. The story was changed to tell a different story. Right? Same thing about the tablets and the Anunnaki, what Billy was talking about a few clips ago. That the tablets say one thing, right? According to Billy. But in actuality, we were taught something very different. Or we were, given the Bible, and the story in the Bible is completely different. And now it goes the question. Y'all see what I'm getting at here? Okay, so let's move along. Okay, so I laughed when I saw this clip, but in all seriousness, some of the things in this clip I'm not real sure about, like the Jordan Shore.
Have, do, or be anything you want if you controlled your mind. The law of attraction is basically saying whatever you focus on with energy and repetition is what you're going to tend to bring into your life. Most people don't realize that their thoughts are in the toilet. There are things like, I'm not good enough, it's not going to work out. All of these kinds of negative thoughts keep people shut down. They don't go for their dreams. What the law of attraction is teaching people is that you have a choice. You can change your thinking. Start to generate what you do want to think. And this is where things like affirmations, positive thinking, positive statements, instead of saying I'm not good enough, begin to say I am good enough. The reticular activating system in the brain responds to repetition, imagery, and emotion. Aim where you want to go by choosing what you want, getting an image of what you want, fueling it with passion and love. Then you can start to create it almost organically and automatically.
The law of attraction is quite interesting, right? I do want to say that if you're having trouble, having a starting point when you are trying to visualize something or, be happy about something, Or you're trying to change your thoughts from, being negative to maybe, just maybe bringing yourself neutral, or into a positive state. Start by thinking about something that really makes you happy. A happy thought or a happy moment in time that made you feel really, 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 really. The more happiness in the thought, the better you feel. So like if you think about the thought and the thought is so good and so delicious, like it's giving you goosebumps, pick that thought. That's the one you need. Now from there, visualize what it is you want. From that moment of feeling good and having those goosebumps, put the thought in your head of what you're wanting. And that's a good starting point. Now, of course, it may take some practice and some time for you to, but it's repetition. You have to continuously do this. Now, don't let it be a burden. Okay. So if it's a burden, you may need to try something different. Because it's not supposed to be a job. It's not supposed to be a burden. It's supposed to be effortlessly, right? So, even the practice of law of attraction should be something you want to do out of happiness and bliss. All right. So I thought this clip was really interesting as far as how he's explaining it. And I figured I'd add a little 2 cents in there.
Substitute teacher from Ireland in the 2nd grade that told my class during morning prayer that when she wants something, anything at all, she prays for it and promises something in return, and she always gets what she wants. I'm sitting at the back of the classroom thinking, my family can't afford a bike. So I went home and I prayed for one, and I promised I would recite the rosary every night in exchange. Broke that promise. But 2 weeks later, I got home from school to find a brand new Mustang bike with a banana seat and Easy Rider handlebars. My family informed me that I had won the bike in a raffle that a friend of mine had entered my name in without my knowledge whatsoever. So that type of thing has been happening to me ever since. As far as I can tell, it's just about letting the universe know what you want and working toward it while letting go of how it comes to pass. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head. And when the door opens in real life, just walk through it. Oh, and why not take a chance on faith as well?
All right, so we started the video with Jim. We'll go ahead and end the video with Jim. I just want to say that I thought that this clip brought a little inspiration, right? Just to let you know that just what you ask for doesn't come right away. It doesn't mean that it's not on the way, right? All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and comment down below, and we'll see you on the next video. Stay wealthy and stay healthy.